Hello everyone, today we are going to read a piece from The Magic of Teamwork. It is written by Sam Pitroda. Sam Pitroda's full name was Satyanarayan Gangaram Pitroda. He was born in Titlagar. In Odisha. And he is better known as father of India's telecom revolution. He has written many articles on, as he belonged to a corporate world, he has written many articles on it. And in this particular article, he is trying to tell us the importance of working in a team. Now, in Unit 1, we will see how the Indians lack teamwork. What is the difference between the Indian worker and a Japanese worker? So first I will read the piece for you and then I'll explain you. Now look into lack of teamwork and cooperation is one of the most serious problems affecting progress in all areas of India and wherever Indians work worldwide. The key problem in India is always implementation, not lack of policies. We have great policies and ideas about how to do things, but we severely lack teamwork. Here, through these lines, the writer actually wants to tell us that our Indians, they lack two things. One is the teamwork and another one is the cooperation. And he has cited this as one of the most serious problem. And this serious problem is affecting means influencing. This serious problem is influencing the progress in all areas of India and wherever the Indians are working in the world. Now the key problem, he says, is not the implementation. Not the lack of policies. He says that we Indians have great policies, great ideas, but the execution part of that policies is missing. The writer here wants to make us clear that we have policies, great ideas with us, but we don't execute them, we don't bring it into action. So that's what he says, we have great policies and ideas how to do things, but where we are lacking is the teamwork. We Indians don't know how to work in a team. We don't know the team spirit. We lack that cooperation part, cooperating and coordinating with the other members of the group. Now, here he says, when Japanese, is making a comparison in this particular line, he's making a comparison between the Indian worker and the Japanese. He says, when the Japanese came to work in India to develop a Maruti Suzuki car, a joke went around that one Indian was equal to 10 Japanese. Indians were very smart, capable and dedicated individuals. But 10 Indians were equal to 1 Japanese. Why? Indians lack team spirit and cooperation. Now here the writer is making a comparison between a Japanese worker and an Indian worker. He is citing an example. He says that when Japanese first came to India to develop Maruti Suzuki company here to manufacture Maruti Suzuki car, then a joke went around and it was like 1 Indian was equal to 10 Japanese. That was the capacity of 1 Indian worker. He was almost equal to 10 Japanese. Why? What were the qualities within the Indians? They were smart, they were capable and they were dedicated. Dedicated means committed. Dedicated means committed. So Indians were basically smarter than Japanese, they were more capable than Japanese and they were more committed towards their work. if you compared them with the Japanese worker. But the reverse started happening when 10 Indians were put in one group and they were told to work. So here the equation changed. 10 Indians became equal to 1 Japanese. Why it happened? Because Indians, they did not have that team spirit. They did not have that cooperation, that will to cooperate with the other members of the team. So why 10 Indians became equal to 1 Japanese? Because they lacked team spirit, or they don't know how to work in team, and the cooperation part was missing. Okay, now the writer tells us that what will make the matter worse. It was not only the lack of teamwork and cooperation. What made the matter even worse was the crab mentality. See, this is crab mentality. Writer is trying to tell us that our Indians suffered from crab mentality. What is that crab mentality? Crab mentality is actually the envious or the jealous behavior, the selfish behavior is actually said to be having or possessing crab mentality. Now the writer has explained it very beautifully. He says that if someone is trying to climb higher and achieve more, the other just drag him down. So in one word, if you want to say crab mentality, it means leg pulling. Crab mentality is leg pulling. Leg pulling attitude. Why it happens? Because out of jealousy. We are not able to tolerate the success of the other person. Why the other person is more successful? When we have got that tendency, it is like the crab mentality. We don't tolerate that person. We rather turn very selfish. Okay, so it's like the writer says that our Indians possessed this mentality. If someone is climbing higher and achieving more, they couldn't tolerate, and they all will indulge in leg pulling. And the signal that they used to give up is that if by chance the signal or the message they used to send out is that I wouldn't do it, means I wouldn't do it, means that the person concerned will not do it. I wouldn't let you do it, he will not let the other do it. And if by chance you start succeeding, if by chance that person still struggling and trying to achieve success, then they will form a gang and they will form a group, or you can say they will gang up together. Ganging up means coming together. Gang up means come together, will join together. Gang up means join together. So all the Indians possessing crab mentality will join together and will make sure that that person doesn't achieve anything in his life. That's what he says. We all will gang up and make sure that you don't get to do it. Okay? So what is crab mentality? It's a leg pulling mentality when an individual is very intolerant towards the success of the other person. Now the writer in these few lines, he says the question is, from where does this attitude come from, and how do we recognize and handle it? Now the writer is trying to analyze that why we Indians possess that kind of attitude, and even if we have that attitude in us, how to identify that attitude and then how to handle it. Now he says that part of the problem is our cultural background. He says that crab mentality is in our culture. It's in our cultural background. Our Indian culture is such that part of that crab mentality we have inherited from our cultural background. The second thing he says that we have had feudal and hierarchical social system. Now feudal, here feudal refers to that Jamindari system we had in India. Jamindari system, okay. Now feudal means here in Indian sense, if you say, it's a Jamindari system. Here the people, the person who, Jamindari system. Feudal and hierarchical. Now feudal here, Jamindari means the people belonging to lower classes, poor class, they were dominated by the rich class people. And this rich class people used to dominate them and keep them under their control. So the poor people assumed that rich people were always right, okay, because they were higher in position, they were richer than them. And here hierarchical social system, even in an organization, the workforce is divided according to their ranks and designations. Likewise, in our social system also, in our society also, we had that divisions. We had the lower caste and the higher caste. So always that mindset the Indian carries is that those who belong to the higher class, those who are in the higher rung, they are much better than them. So they always used to be like dominated by them. They never thought like the people at the higher rank may be wrong, the people at the higher designation may be wrong. They always thought that since they are at the higher rung, they know more, they know much better than them. So this mentality has always there. Maybe in our family also, whoever is the senior member, it has been assumed that senior member knows the best. So that was the writer is trying to highlight here, that the crab mentality it is inherent, we have inherited because of our cultural background and because of the feudal social system, because of the hierarchical social system, maybe in the society, maybe in the workplace, in which whoever is senior, age-wise, they never counted like the efficiency, age-wise. Now he is senior means he knows the best. He is much better than us. This was fine in earlier times. Writer is trying to clarify that this theory worked in the earlier times when knowledge and wisdom were passed on orally. We didn't have the printed books, we didn't have the advanced media. So knowledge was passed on orally. But in modern society, there is no way that one person can know everything. There was an explosion of knowledge. There are different fields, and the need arose that everyone should specialize in one. So an engineering student have got a different syllabus than the medical student. Even if you ask the medical student something from the engineering background, they won't be able to answer. So that's what the writer is trying to tell us. In modern society, it's not possible to find one person knowing everything, as like in the ancient days, people used to assume that one person is a wise person. He knows everything and he has a knowledge of every subject. Why they used to think like that? Because limited knowledge were passed on, and that too orally. But now in modern age, with the explosion of knowledge, it's not possible that one person knows everything. Okay, so that's what the writer tried to clarify in this. Now today, writer has tried to make this point clear through an example. He says that today you may find that a young computer trained person has more knowledge, okay, has more answers for an accounting problem than a senior accountant has. Now, through this example, he wants to tell us that a person may be younger in age, but he may be more efficient than a senior person who is older than him in age. And if you go by numbers, the person may be young, but he has got more knowledge about a particular subject. He has given the example of a senior accountant. He says that accounts is a subject. Okay. Now in that subject, a senior accountant may not be more efficient than a young computer trained person. A young computer trained person will do his job more efficiently than the senior accountant, because he is skilled in using computer. So writer is trying to tell us that until we understand how best to leverage this diversity of experience, we will not be able to create and fully utilize the right kind of teams. So here the word leverage means use that quality. Okay, use of that particular quality or thing to get maximum. So this last line, the writer is trying to tell us that how we can create a right kind of team. How? Now if you want to create a right kind of team, then you must make use of the quality of both the younger mass and the older mass. Now here you can say the junior and the senior. Juniors are more efficient because they are more updated, more skilled compared to the seniors. But seniors are more experienced. So the writer wants to tell us that we can't afford to ignore seniors and form a team where only juniors will be the members, and also we cannot create a team where only the seniors will be the members and the juniors have got no scope to voice themselves. So here the writer says that if you want to create a right kind of team, then you have to have the knowledge of using the quality and experience of both the senior and the juniors, and then only you will be able to create a right kind of team. So to conclude, I will say that you see the writer has highlighted the key problem affecting India's progress, and that was like not the lack of policies, but it was the lack of implementation of policies, or you can say non-implementation of policies. And what was the joke that went around when Japanese came to work in India? That one Indian was equal to 10 Japanese. And why they said this? Because Japanese were smarter, Indians were smarter, capable and more committed towards their work. Okay, then just the reverse happened when Indians were put together in a team and they were not able to work together in proper coordination. So today we wind up here. The unit 1 comes to the end.